This is Bob Sansevier. I'm here with Rick Alonzo, Pioneer Press beat reporter for the Vikings, and deputy sports editor John Plume. Rick, I got a question for you. Against Green Bay, it looked like suddenly that the receiver of choice was not going to be Sidney Rice, that it would be Percy Harvin for Favre, but then he comes back in this last game, and Rice was clearly the dominant receiver. Is it going to go back and forth, or as the rest of the season progresses, will Sidney, who's their leading receiver in terms of numbers, will he be the guy that is clearly the number one?
I think it could go back and forth, but really, I don't really think it matters too much. As long as they're moving the ball through the air, I think they'll just, take whatever options are available. I mean, we saw that when Dugan's open in the end zone. I don't think he cares too much who's their number one guy or whatever. I mean, at this point, they'll take whatever they can get.
We've touched on it in the past, and I'm going to ask you again after this game. Did you see anything to make you think that this team can have any sort of and by a slump, I would mean where they lose 2 or 3 games the rest of the way? I mean, is this a 15-1 team, 14-2, 13-3 at the worst?
13-3 is a possibility. I mean, I really think so.
Give me the losses.
Well, you've got Cincinnati coming up. Arizona on the road is not going to be an easy game, certainly. So those two you kind of look at, but still got 2 games against the Bears. You never really know what you're going to get in that December 28th Monday night game in Chicago when it's going to be really cold, really bad weather, I'm assuming, and how's Favre going to play in that?
How's Cutler going to play is a question too.
Well, yeah, I mean, so there's a few games there that could be losses, but 13-3 I think is a very realistic possibility at this point. If not. Who knows? Maybe they'll only drop a couple. Really, the point is not what their record's going to be. Is it going to be better than New Orleans?
Now, John, what are you? You also see? Do you see how many losses you see? You 13-3?
At worst, 13-3. I don't see them losing a game at home. I mean, I think they'll win out. They'll beat Seattle. They'll beat Chicago. They'll beat Cincinnati. That'll be a tough game, and I think they'll beat the Giants. And I only see them maybe losing 1 out of those 3 road games at Arizona. Carolina and Chicago, and like Rick said, more than likely it's going to come there because the weather's not going to be favorable, and they don't play very well at Chicago anyway. But this is a 13-3, 14-2 team, and the NFC Championship. It doesn't matter if they're here or they're there. What I want to see is that New Orleans defense stop Peterson because I don't think they can do it.
Rick, what happened to Bernard Berrien? He was supposed to be the deep threat. Bernard is there an injury we don't know about that's affecting him?
Well, the injury we do know about is the hamstring thing that he's battled all year. I just don't think he's been 100%, from the get-go in the preseason when he suffered the hamstring, missed the last 3 preseason games.
John, your thoughts? Would you sit him if it's a hamstring and let him get that thing healthy?
So if he's hurt, I agree. Why not sit and put Greg Lewis on the field for 2 or 3 games and let him get healthy and have him for the postseason run?
Give me, in order, top 3 MVP candidates in the league as of right now.
I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go Manning 1, Breeze 2, Favre 3.
John?
Favre 1, Manning 2, Breeze 3.
That's exactly the way I would go. I don't even know if I'd have Breeze at 3. Rick, John, always a pleasure.